Welcome, everybody, to Steelin for a Livin podcast. I'm your host, Walker Robinson, and this is my cast of friends and fellow musicians, 7 South. Here on the far left, we've got Tex. He just goes by Tex. We got Drew Clenzar. He plays the drums, does the sound, does the lights, drives the bus. We got Dayton Evans. He plays the acoustic guitar and is now working on becoming our lead guitar player.
Now you've put me on the spot. I'm screwed.
Yeah, I'm setting expectations. He's a great singer, and we've got Mike Blocker over there. He holds down the bass, writes songs, also another lead singer, and just a great dude all the way around. And here, kind of in an alternate way, Mr. Anthony Kent, aka Captain America. He's here with us in spirit and might be here later. But we decided we were just going to roll and get his arrival on camera because it's going to be hilarious regardless. So, we got Anthony Kent coming, but right now we've got a mic stand with a piece of paper that's a picture of Anthony Kent.
Could you give me some more energy, dog?
So
this feels like a debate at your local town hall.
or high school.
I know you're not Joe Rogan, but come on. Your word is abacus.
Sorry.
Beep.
Sorry, everybody. I should have prefaced this with the ever so dreaded 7 South podcast.
Not your typical podcast.
Not your typical podcast. But anyway, we're going to talk about our trip down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama. North Alabama. A.K.A. Heaven on Earth, A.K.A. The Hit Factory, A.K.A. There's a bunch of AKAs. Anyway, we went down to 7, or we did not go down 7. We went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama to practice, get better, play some shows, see our friends. We've kind of created a friend base, if you would, down there, and we've had an excellent time doing so. So tell us a little bit about the Muscle Shoals trip, Tex.
Well, there was a little,
Say Mitch McConnell.
How about a little warning? Wow. Yeah, who's going first here? Who's on first? As far as time to practice, it was phenomenal. I mean, and these guys, every time they spend 2, 3, 4 days together like this or more, they just get better and better and better. And there was a lot of opportunity to practice. Some days, starting at 10 in the morning, and we'll go till 11, 12, 1 in the morning. And yeah, they just get better and better. And prior to the 3 shows that we had there, which were outstanding, it was just such a great time. In 2 of the shows that we were at, one gentleman had been around Muscle Shoals area for around 40 years, and he said, hands down, best show I've ever seen. And we thought that was, the best compliment you could ever get. But the next night, there's some guy with 60 years of live music experience around Muscle Shoals, and he said, best show he had ever seen. They've got great talent there, so it's quite a compliment to have people like this tell us that, we're making it happen while we're there, because that's what we're trying to do. And expand our footprint more. So it was a great trip.
It was great. It was productive. Drew, what were your takeaways from the Muscle Shoals trip?
Better come back to me.
All
Anthony?
Right. All right. Thanks, Anthony. But yeah, we had a great time down in Muscle Shoals. It's people don't realize the history of it, and a lot of people have never even heard of it, with this generation. And as music continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse on Top 40 radio, a lot of people have gone away from that Muscle Shoals sound, which I would love for them to come back. Some of my favorite songs ever have been recorded there, including, but not limited to, Mustang Sally by Wilson Pickett, When a Man Loves a Woman, and
I mean,
you
all
know,
the Allman Brothers stuff.
Dwayne Allman got his start in the studio there.
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner did their first cut of Freebird there.
Hank Jr.
Hank Jr. recorded in the studio that we record at, Wishbone Studios with Billy Lawson. Billy Lawson didn't do the Hank Jr. record, but a friend of his owned the studio at the time, Clayton Ivey, who played keys on Almost Broken Heart. Slight shameless plug there. But anyway, Mike, what was your takeaways from the Muscle Shoals trip?
You know, every time, I think everybody here can agree that, like, Muscle Shoals, it's almost magical, right? Like, we go down there and every time is just something has always good come out of it. And usually multiple good things come out of it. You know, this is I know me and Walker, before you guys, this makes our third time. I think we made our third time going down there.
Yeah.
So we, you know, every time has been.
This is my fourth.
Yeah.
Actually, fifth. I've been down there I went by myself one time whenever I went to the Opry to watch Alex Miller make his debut.
Right.
And then I went once when I was in high school, and then 3 times with y'all. So.
Yeah. But like as a band, as a band,
3 times.
It's been our third time. Drew and Dayton second, and Texas second. But Anthony's not here to chime in on the third time either. But you know, every time has been just something special every time. Other than just going down there and recording, the camaraderie and just sitting together and, like you said, getting better and working on our own stuff and just spending that time with each other and working on each other to get better. There's, you know, a lot can be said of just staying around locally in a place and working on stuff like that. But there's something about going over there that it's just something in there. I think they say it's in the water down there, right?
It's in the water, yeah.
It's in the waters. There's just something about it that it brings it out of you. And I mean, I feel like we got better on a lot of aspects over there, and we played. I feel like all 3 shows we played were pretty killer. I mean, obviously, and even the mistakes that were made or things that could have been better, we recognized it and we can move forward and we know what we can progress on, and that's a win all the way around.
Absolutely. So the Muscle Shoals area is 4 distinct places of their own. You have Sheffield, Florence, Tuscumbia, and Muscle Shoals. That's the Muscle Shoals area, or as the locals call it, the Shoals. I would say the majority of the hits that were recorded down there were at Fame Studio, which is Florence, Alabama, Music Enterprises. And Fame was just a great place. Had Rick Hall. He was the producer, and he kind of come up with the dream of the Muscle Shoals sound. But a great friend of ours, Sheriff Glenn Wheeler, is the one who kind of put us on the map, thanks to his friend, Miss Suzanne. She's lovely.
A sweetheart.
She is the best. But yeah, she does Colbert County Tourism, which is the tourism for all the Muscle Shoals stuff. And she knows so much about that area, and there's so much history. Not just music, but you've got the Native American history there. You've got just tons of stuff. And the Tennessee River flows right between Florence and Muscle Shoals geographically, or Florence and Sheffield. There's several places you can cross, but they say that it's the Singing River because the Tennessee River flows right through the middle of it. And there's all sorts of Native American lore there, and it's really pretty interesting. And if you guys haven't, I recommend watching the Muscle Shoals documentary. That is alone one of the most informative music documentaries that's ever been made, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
But we go down there, and they say it's in the water, but any time a band is able to gather around, without the distractions of the outside world, whether it be work, whether it be, just mostly work for us because we all work. And, whenever we're able to congregate like that, we're able to get so much done and just improve by leaps and bounds. And we did that the first time we went down as a full band, and we did that, every time we've gone, we've gotten significantly better coming back because we're able to just sit down, wake up, see each other's smiling face, eat spam and eggs, eat some spam or some other type of. I think whenever the spam got too expensive, we went to Great Value luncheon meat.
Vienna sausage.
Vienna sausage.
I said, guys, I will get us some hot dogs or something so we don't have to eat spam. But every
that
morning,
spam and eggs was top notch.
that was good spam and eggs.
You're welcome.
Even though I talked bad about the spam and eggs, I really did enjoy Blocker's
Talk
cooking.
bad about the spam.
He can cook.
You ate enough of them.
I've talked down about the spam and eggs, but yeah, there's nothing like waking up to the smell of spam and eggs on the stove.
When you're hungover.
There was so much good times and camaraderie had there, and it's just a bonding trip, but it's also equally a work trip, and there's a lot that can be done on a trip like that whenever we're just all together in a van
Down
Down by the river.
all right, 90s kids. Yeah, we were in a van down by the river.
Living off government cheese,
Yeah,
basically.
Jake's free farm range eggs.
So yeah, Jake. So
no
Jake,
less
our
than
piano
12
player,
years
was
old.
unable to make it today, but he brought a lot of sensibility to the dynamic, you could say. He definitely he's a top-notch musician. He brings a world-class presence to the band, but not only that, he's like kind of the adult in the room whenever we're just
anchor, if you would.
Yeah, an anchor, if you would.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and so he definitely we're so much more on track whenever we have Jake. And without the presence of our little paper mache friend here, I just feel like it's empty, honestly.
Actual space.
Did you ever think of your thoughts?
Do you have any thoughts?
Well,
You didn't learn how to play to a click track while we were
I didn't
there.
learn how to play to a click. I am, for those of you that don't know, I'm the world's okayest drummer. I got the
stars.
T-shirt.
2.5.
I think everybody can agree with that. I had a great time. We met some cool people. We saw some cool things. Played some great music. The neighbors at our Airbnb
Oh,
were
yes.
just amazing people.
Oh, yes.
Max and LaFonda.
Max
Yes.
and LaFonda.
Right?
Great neighbors.
Yeah, great neighbors. They drove 45 minutes.
They came.
Inside joke. LaFonda.
Sorry, the tree hugging incident is off.
But they did. They drove 45 minutes one night to one of our shows and stayed through the whole show. They had a great time.
Yeah.
Took us down, and they got a place on the lake just real close to where we stayed, and let us go down there and hang out. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
I think that can be said about almost anybody in that
yeah.
area. Like everyone down there is just genuinely just really nice. They treated us like we belonged there.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, for
Everybody was just really. Their hospitality was great. Everything. They just treated us good.
And there was-
It's like that every time.
The hospitality is world class down there.
Oh yeah.
And there was one lady in the gas station. Once you get down in Alabama, just anywhere, just in the state, and you see somebody with a Roll Tide T-shirt, they mean it. And when I say they mean it, they mean it.
I don't give a dang about nothing but the time.
Yeah, you're talking about Roll Tide Willie country. And I walked into Tuscumbia, into this gas station, and it was a sketchy gas station right across from Kingpin's where we played one night. And I say sketchy.
corn
It wasn't terribly sketchy, but it was enough sketch to where I was alert and oriented. But I walk in there and I order some cheese sticks, and this lady was just as sweet as she could be. She kind of had that a pack a day of Winston 100s for 50 years voice, and
What can I get you?
it felt just like home. It felt so much like home. But then I quickly asked. I said, because she had on this very, very easy to see Roll Tide T-shirt with the Alabama logo on it. And I said, "So, do you root for the Tigers?" And she responded with a very thorough, "Does it look like I root for them Tigers? I'm a Tide fan." I was like, "Wow, okay, all right."
So calling the Hogs is out.
Yeah, no calling the Hogs.
We
not
called the
those
Hogs
shows.
anywhere?
I don't think we did.
I think
We played
did.
Arkansas.
We played Arkansas.
somewhere.
We did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so we
Somewhere.
did call
Rattlesnake, I think.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah,
That's all right.
So
a little safer there.
Well, they know they're better than us.
the Hogs have had a terrible history with playing Alabama.
Everything's bad.
Hoping the new coach can make some differences.
We're deep into early season baseball now. It's not looking any better.
We're a basketball school. We're really a track and field school.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go. We'll always have
We
it.
got you
Track and
whooped
field.
in track and field.
Ping pong was really my sport. I definitely had the biggest reign.
I had no idea. Tell us some other crazy facts about yourself while we're here for the people.
You know, I can't really think of anything just too crazy about me. You know, I play steel guitar, so that's pretty crazy.
What does it take to play steel guitar? Is there any like tools of the trade?
You know, just maybe
I got picks in a bar.
I got picks in a bar.
All right, tell the picks in the bar story. I knew we were going to get there at some
Live
point.
television.
I knew we were going to get there at some point. You might as well tell the picks in the bar story.
Why don't you tell it? You lived it. I wasn't officially part of the band then. I was side stage with poor Liam.
Okay.
They
were
can,
on
just,
TV
they can
with
just watch the YouTube video. It's out there.
So we went to this. I'm so glad Glenn Wheeler's not here. We went to this TV station in
Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville?
WAFF.
The largest television station in
Largest
Huntsville, yeah.
television station in North Alabama and South Tennessee. And
Second largest station in town that day.
we were going to play Wonderin'. Wonderin' was our current single. That last trip is where we recorded How Can I Measure a Broken Heart. And we were gonna play Wonderin'. Well, they didn't have any electrical hookups, so we had to play acoustic. So we rented a acoustic bass for
Yeah.
blocker.
And you got that.
And Tex brought his dobro. Now,
Yeah.
this is, we'll get to that story here in a little bit, but this is at the same time, you know, we didn't know who Tex was. He just kind of,
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
yeah, we'll get into that. But,
Anthony can tell that one best.
yes. So, yeah,
What'd you say?
Moving on.
we'll come back to it. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
stage
So, yeah, he's a little nervous today.
So one time he doesn't want to talk.
So,
Somebody else would sing these songs.
so we get into this WAFF studio, and we're in the lobby out there practicing. Of course, people are looking at us like we're just got three eyes or something.
I mean, we're a bunch of rednecks from Arkansas standing around in this studio.
Here's these Arkansas guys that look just ridiculous in their cowboy attire, practicing. Of course, I was trying to play the dobro and still haven't got any good at the dobro. But regardless, we're in there. Then they call us in, and the lady who was
newscaster.
the newscaster, yeah, the anchor, if you would.
Yes. That's what they calls them.
You know, she has that small chat where she's just asking everybody.
Yeah,
what they do.
You've got a lot of stuff going on here, young man.
So she goes to walk. And she's like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I play the steel guitar. She's like, oh, the steel guitar is an interesting instrument. Like, what does it take to play a steel
It's
guitar?
like you've got some things in your hand here. What's that?
I don't know if it was like stage fright or what it was with you, but you were just like,
TVL wraps up today. We have a special treat for you. If you've seen a big van and a trailer parked in our 48 parking lot, it's because the incredibly talented band 7 South is here to give us a sneak peek at their music before they take the stage at some of your favorite spots around the valley. And guys, we could not be more excited. 7 South joining us in studio. Welcome, welcome. So grateful that you guys are here.
Thanks for having
You're
us.
from Arkansas, I understand, but you're making your way down to North Alabama, which we're very excited about. Anthony, I want to start with you. Kind of tell me how you guys formed against 7 South. This is quite the member band you got with you.
We came from different backgrounds in music, and one day it was very much like a jam session, but it became very much like a family, and when it was fun, and like, we're going to do this, and we're going to see if we can chase some dreams.
You're like, wait, we have something here. Like, this could be a thing, and you've been a band ever since. And one thing that we love about you guys, you have a number of different instruments. Walker, you want to kind of walk me through what all you guys use and how that contributes to your sound?
In our show, we offer a fiddle, which is pretty rare where we're from.
Yeah.
And then we have a pedal steel guitar, which I play, and then dobro, drums, 2 guitar players, and Mike holding down the bass and singing.
Yep, they've
and
got it
sometimes
all.
the key player.
I love it. Just throw that in there, right? You need it all. If you need a triangle player, I can probably step in and add that, maybe some cowbell for you, and I'll just kind of shake it up. Perfect. You mentioned steel guitar, though, too. I think a lot of people don't. You've got the kind of little steel sliders on your fingers there.
Yeah, I got picks and a bar.
Picks in a bar.
I got these 6 strings and picks in a bar.
That's what you gotta have. I mean,
It just dead. I'm like, that's what he said. Like, okay.
if you watch the replay, you can see Blocker's face turn a stop sign red.
There.
Yeah, I got picks and a bar.
Perfect. Well, we're excited to see that.
And,
I did a good job holding it in.
but in a way, I feel like that was what the youngest would call Riz.
I don't know.
I'll professionally disagree, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we can't agree on everything.
I'll find out.
Anyway, so we do the WAFF live thing. I was terribly embarrassed after the picks in the bar incident, but we actually didn't have a bad performance.
No, it came out pretty good.
I
It
thought
was good.
somehow we pulled it off. I
Really
was
good.
not expecting that.
Now, like the 15 times we ran it in the break room up there,
Screwed up 14
it
out of
wasn't
15
even a lobby.
times.
It was like an open air vest. It's the first thing that you walk into when
It was
you
the
walk in the
foyer.
station.
Yeah.
It's between the 2 doors.
It was the
so you don't
foyer
let the
area.
AC out.
this one guy's walking in to tell a story or something, and he met with these Arkansas rednecks playing dobro with picks in a bar out in the foyer there.
Curtis
Fiddle
Little over
going,
here trying to figure out how to play
guitars
it.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue into kind of one of the most important things about that last Muscle Shoals trip was us bringing Mr. Tex into the band.
Yeah, I mean,
He is our road
absolutely.
manager. He is in charge of everything before the show. During the show, he's got his moments, and then after the show, he is literally the boss. He
Breaking
is
it
in
down.
charge,
Yep.
and he has worked himself into that role. So,
He is, for all accounts, I don't know. We wouldn't be quite where we are without him because he's added so much and just being able to help us and take a lot of burden off other things. So it's been very grateful to have you. I wish we could afford to pay you, so we appreciate you, especially doing it for free.
You keep watching these videos.
If you just had a 501c3, it'd be great.
he's great. He's great for your labor.
Tex might be able to earn a paycheck.
We can't really complain about him since he's free.
All right, so since nobody else going to tell it, this is where Tex came from.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Texas.
So we're at Muscle Shoals.
Talking to the mic.
This mic. This one right here?
Yeah.
That mic right there.
So we're at Muscle Shoals
Remember it like
last year, a year ago, and it was us, Anthony, of course.
Airbnb
the mic,
house.
it's a condenser. It can hear me.
There's a good echo in this room. It'll pick it up.
Glenn was there. So anyway, we're at this Airbnb, and Anthony says, "Hey, I just sent that guy our address. He's coming." We're like, "What
And
guy?"
collectively, we're all like, who?
And he goes, "You know that guy? He's been to some of our shows. I think he's from Texas."
We met him at the Moose Lodge.
Yeah, we met him at the Moose Lodge.
guy from
And I'm
Texas, we're like, "Oh,
yeah,
Tex?"
I remember that guy. What's his name? Anthony's like, I don't know. I guess it's Tex.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
So Tex here shows up.
It was late,
Oh yeah, it was.
like at midnight or
night.
later,
The
wasn't it?
second day.
Yeah. We were there. It's our second day of
Yeah,
like a
I don't
being
know,
there
11,
5 or
12
6
o'clock
days.
at night.
Yeah, it was late.
He shows up in a Subaru. Still not sure about that.
Yeah. Hey, it's gone.
Drove all the way from Harrison, so about 8 hours, right?
Yes.
About 8 hours to hang out with a bunch of guys he'd never met. We put him up on the world's finest couch.
Oh, it's great.
From the Victorian era.
Oh, that's nothing compared to what I had to sleep on the first Muscle Shoals trip. That's nothing.
But anyway, he just kind of showed up and never left.
And we're grateful for that.
And we're grateful for
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how Texas
Truthfully, like
is.
before
We
you
still
even
don't
got
really
there,
know
we
his
were
name.
like, what kind of psycho is driving all the way over? Doesn't even know us. We're like, what are we getting into? And then he shows up, and it was so instant, just click. Like he meshed so well from the get go, and we haven't
Felt
looked
right
back.
at home.
Haven't looked back since, man. We wouldn't trade you for nothing.
He's the best.
We wouldn't be anything without you.
He is the best road manager, promoter,
And friend.
and he facilitates. He does so much behind the scenes that it's people will never be able to understand unless they're in a band. If there's somebody who's got a request, they can come to him. He can relay information to us. If a cable goes bad, he can take care of that. He can set a steel guitar up equally as good as I can. He can set drums up. He's just learned all these skills from hanging out with us.
And he's professional. He knows how he represents us well.
100%.
And almost even, what I appreciate the most about him is he's not afraid to approach us and call us out on our bull crap.
100%.
If we're sucking or we do something wrong, he'll call us out on it, and I appreciate.
That's what you
I appreciate
appreciate the most.
that. I appreciate that,
Why don't you go ahead and dial her back there if you can?
and I appreciate that because I mean we all need to be in check sometimes, and he's he's not
But this
afraid
is
to
a
call us
family.
out.
It is. I mean, it's
Family
that
does
tight. It really
Tell
is.
you what, he'll give an in-house sound girl. It fits.
Oh yeah. I also appreciate that.
You got to get these levels right, girl.
Well, and then there's a few of them. But we won't go into that. They're a little sensitive sometimes.
A little bit.
I mean, you know the
Some
sound.
men are.
You know the sound we need, and you're not afraid to speak up, and you know what we need. So
Thank you.
There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that it takes a whole lot to a whole lot more than what meets the eye, especially when it comes to just talking about music in general, like having a band, booking shows, getting to the show, setting up the stuff. We've got so much stuff to set up. I think we've got enough to. Well, I know we've got enough. We've played some small amphitheaters. Bill Baker Amphitheater with our own gear.
What's the capacity there?
3,000.
Is it 3,000?
Yeah,
No
that's lawn included.
Right.
That's lawn included. But
And you're right. We can cover that. It's not going to be a rock show,
right.
but it's pretty decent.
Yeah, we've packed that lawn every time we've been there. And those people up there, they're smiling just as much as the folks in the front row.
Easy.
There was some kids trying to crawl on the roof to get a look at us when we were there. It was insane.
They have a backpack.
The first show we played there, we had drone surveillance. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. And there's so many unsung heroes of Seven South, and I feel like that's a part of the magic. And it's it's the only band that I've ever been a part of where there's been so many unsung heroes. We've got not only Tex, we've got Jason helping us out with video and stuff, working and
Shameless plug, Jason.
Epic Shots.
Epic Shots.
Epic Shots.
With 2 C's.
Follow on Facebook.
Yeah, Epic Shots is a powerhouse.
He's got like 3 times as many followers as us.
Yeah,
with
he's
like
been growing like a weed.
6 months on his Facebook page.
So, but I'm telling you, it's a relentless effort in the reels. That's the goal. So, but we've been doing this
He's not
podcast
here.
together, and
I keep looking. He's not coming, buddy. It's okay.
and we have so many unsung heroes. Of course, George. He's our great fan, and he's starting to learn the ropes of kind of load in and load out. But it's a learning process. You can ask Tex how much learning did it take on your behalf to?
It's every week.
Still learning.
Every week.
Still
There's
constantly.
always more to do. I mean, there
Still know
is.
how to do it.
Always.
It's tough. We're packing an entire venue's worth of sound, lighting, and instruments into a 7x14 trailer.
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Yeah, it's a job, man.
And now, and this is news to you guys too. Now that I'm going to a stereo steel rig live, it's gonna be.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at dirt.
I'm going to Grove, Oklahoma Wednesday to buy
For the non-professionals on YouTube, why don't you explain the difference between stereo and what you're doing right now?
So the one I'm doing right now is I have a guitar, right? I have a guitar, an amp, and I have a steel and an amp. I
You
used
have any
to run
like picks and bars or anything?
Yeah, I have picks and bars.
Picks and bars.
I used to run my steel and my guitar through the same amp. I wasn't really happy with the steel tone I was getting out of that amp, so I bought another steel amp. Now, to achieve even greater tone, I'm going to a stereo steel rig, so I'll have 2 amps, so that'll be 3 channels, which we're slowly but surely taking up all the channels in our board.
And the stage plots.
And our stage plot is
70% Walker,
a nightmare.
30% the rest of us.
You realize we run our entire show in mono, right?
Yeah. So
Until now.
Until now.
So stereo, and it's really just about the tone. That's what it comes down
Did you know
to.
it was about the tone?
It's about the tone.
Pocket.
I have the picks in the bar of destiny.
Listen, when we get done with this podcast, we're going to have a serious conversation about channels.
So, yeah, I keep on adding to the chaos.
We've got an X32, Drew. That's all those channels. There's so
we
many.
have so many channels.
We just need a bigger.
Maybe we put some splitters in and have 64.
Right.
Do they
It'll be
make a
fine.
bigger one?
Yeah, we don't need a bigger mixer.
Do they make one that goes to 11?
Yes.
Here's the solution. We'll all get our own individual X16s.
I'm at the point.
Already have one.
I'm at the point where I could, within reason, I could do stereo guitar, stereo steel,
Stereo vocals.
Yeah.
You need to stop while yours about to kill you.
We'll give you your own cajon over there. We can stereo that somehow.
I don't even use an overhead on my drums just to leave more channels for you
I was
guys.
just about to say we're gonna have to take another one of your mics away from your drum kit.
How bad do you really need that for?
Tom 3
is gonna sound dead.
Tom 3's
You
out.
can't kill Tom 3. That's the one that shakes the room. I like
No
Tom 3.
snare. You don't need a snare mic.
Tom 2's out there.
Tom 1 is gonna be
Tom
dum
1.
dum dum dum. But anyway, we're still under consideration about the stereo steel rig.
Oh, we are.
It's
I'm
just
glad to hear it.
Oh, so you're considering going to Oklahoma to get it?
I'm going to. I'm going Wednesday at 5 o'clock. I'm pulling out and going to Grove, Oklahoma with my grandmother.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Turnpike Troubadours are going to call him any day now.
Oh, they would hate my life setup. 2 vintage PV amps flame throwing right into the audience. It's a sound engineer's dream.
Worst nightmare.
And I'm the only member of 7 South that doesn't have, or I'm the only one that doesn't go direct. I used to, but they didn't really have the tone I was looking for.
Hey, did he mention it's about tone?
It's about
Did
tone.
you know it's about the tone?
And picks.
And bars. How many bars do you have?
I actually have 3. I don't use one ever. I've got a 7/8 bar that is, and this is talking about diameter.
Oh, okay.
7/8
Of an
is.
inch? Gotcha. That's about
It's
this much.
Let him talk.
it's a speedy bar, and
This
you can
podcast is too formal for me.
you can get you can move a lot better with the 7/8. But the tone really comes with the 1-inch bar, and I got that down at the Fort Worth Steel Show. And
So bigger really is better.
huh?
So bigger really
It
is
really
better.
is.
It's all about the tone,
It's
if
more
you didn't
tone,
know.
and you just like if you're doing that John Huey stuff, which you guys don't even you guys probably don't even know who John Huey is.
No, I don't.
I don't know why you'd assume that. Is it just because you had to explain to me what stereo was?
What a shame.
He's the Jerry Douglas of the steel world.
Oh, okay. Jerry
Kind of.
Douglas.
Who Jerry Douglas is?
Jerry Douglas is the only dobro player I know. So, him and Shot Jackson. Shot Jackson, of course, of Showbud. The greatest pedal steel guitars in
What
the
size
world.
bar did he play with?
I think he played with an actual dobro bar. So the dobro bar is different. It has
I shouldn't have asked.
it has actual like inlets so that for picking it up and stuff. whereas the steel bar is just it's kind of a cylindrical. Yeah.
But Cowboy Eddie Long's a good dobro player too.
Cowboy Eddie Long is a great dobro player. Cowboy Eddie Long is
play
my
with him with
mentor.
strings.
And also, I met Cowboy Eddie Long on a steel. Well, actually, he was on a steel, but I met him on a Muscle Shoals trip.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, that was a story too.
I guess so.
That story.
Okay, so let's give the listeners an idea of kind of how we got to this point with going to Muscle Shoals. You know, how it's become a reoccurring thing. Started out, I was a senior in high school. Glenn said, "Let's go to Muscle Shoals." Showed me the documentary. I said, "Okay, this is great. You know, let's go." So we go down there. We meet Billy Lawson. I met Suzanne. I met just some cool people. Clayton Ivey, Dave Alfstead, who played steel on my song. One of my great friends from Iowa, and he's an incredible steel player. And even literally today or yesterday, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, who played on this song? Who played on this song?" Like, I'm still asking him a ton of questions. So he's been great. But yeah, we had a great time. I recorded and wrote Almost Broken Heart, which was my single that I released down there. So then after that trip, that was a wonderful trip. That's when I fell in love with Muscle Shoals. Then a year later, we go down to with me, Anthony, Glenn, and Blocker.
Yeah, just us. Yeah.
And did you write Wondering on the way down there?
I had Wondering wrote before we went down there, and then when we got down there, and we were all talking about what song we wanted to cut, right? And Anthony was like, "Let's cut Wondering." And I'm like, "Man, I just wrote it probably like 2 weeks before that," and I was like, "Man, I'm not sure it's ready." And Anthony's like, "Oh, it's ready." And then we played it for Billy, and Billy's like, "Yeah, sounds great. Let's cut it." So we did. A little history on it. Like, it was originally 4 verses, if you remember. We originally had 4 verses, and Billy was like, "It's too long. It's too long. It's not for radio. Radio time needs to be 3:20. He's like, "You need to cut a verse out."
It was actually a Grateful Dead song before.
Yeah.
The song's just too long, boys.
Yeah, it's too long. I think it was like.
Well, how's Anthony gonna say anything?
I think it was like 402 or something with that 4th verse. So he's like, "Got to get down 3:20 radio time." So I ended up cutting the 4th verse, which is probably nobody's ever heard, but
I've never heard it.
And you won't, because I forgot the words because I cut it. So we cut it. We cut it that trip, and that's when we got did everything we were gonna do, right? And then Billy's like, "Man, this song is missing one thing," and he's like, "Let's put a steel guitar on it." So we're like, "Oh yeah, sounds cool. That sounds great. I'd love it." We don't play steel guitar.
I don't know how to play that.
And so he's like, "I think I know somebody. Let me see if he's in town." So he calls this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in town. Yeah, I'll come up there." And Billy's like, "Hey, this guy's probably gonna charge you like $100 to come play on it." I'm like, "Whatever, fine, do it." He's professional. He's like, "He's really good." So I think I'm outside with Anthony and Walker at the time, and I think whatever. We're outside the studio, and this guy pulls in and some beat up, like Mercury car or something in like 90s. And he pulls up, and I'm like, and opens the door, and like stuff falls out of the seat, and I'm like, or out of the door. I'm like, "Oh my God, what did Billy get us into?" Right? I'm like, what am I doing? And he pulls out his old steel guitar and starts carrying it inside. We help him carry some stuff, and he gets settled in, and Billy's introducing him to him. He's like, "This is Eddie Long. He goes by Cowboy Eddie Long." I'm like, "Okay, nice to meet you, Eddie." And after I shake his hand, he's like, he's a steel guitar player for Jamie Johnson." I'm like, "Oh." So you have some cred, He's like, "And before that, he did some work with Hank Williams." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So he's definitely qualified. All right, that's cool." Yeah. Gets in there, hears my song like once, and then starts playing with it, playing with it the second time around. Cuts it right then, and all that beautiful steel stuff you hear on the cut release was Eddie Long. And then him and Walker got talking a lot, because Walker like instantly fell in love with steel guitar, and then him and Eddie started talking, and that's that trip we left. We ended up we ended up stopping somewhere on the way and getting you steel guitar. I'll let you tell that one, but that's where Walker started.
So we're standing there in Wishbone Studio, Cowboy Eddie Long. Of course, like you said, we didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
He's setting up his steel, and he had to put strings on it, which on Cowboy steel is a major undertaking, because he's got not the traditional tuners like I do, but on his BMI, he's got a locking system that locks the strings in. And it's actually designed to be a quicker way to put strings on. It's a great idea. The thing is, though, is he couldn't find which string gauge he needed. He had this stack of like 50 individually packaged, and he was digging out trying to find his strings. And you know, the funniest thing about it is that he was so down to earth. You know, you take somebody that's played with Hank Jr. on the road and played on all
Done this for decades.
He's still
probably.
touring with Jamie
I mean,
Johnson
you would say
right
probably
now.
one of the best still alive playing. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy good.
He's got such a long record, and he's played on so many hits. But he was just so humble and down to earth. He was just going through his stack of 50 strings, and of course I'm standing there just throwing questions as soon as they hit my head. I'm like, so what's it do? How many, what are all the knees and pedals do and stuff? And he tried to explain it to me, but of course I didn't have a clue. And steel guitar, for the people who don't really, who aren't familiar with it, it's like playing lead guitar is like driving a car. Playing the steel guitar is like flying a rocket on the Apollo mission. Like, there's like thousands of little incremental things that are going on. You're using this hand, this knee, and this knee, this foot, and this foot all simultaneously. There's a lot of limb independence. There's a ton of stuff that goes with it.
Dude, I didn't realize till the last time we're in Alabama, you move your knees on those bars.
You've been playing the Livin for like a year and a half, and you're just now realizing.
I'm sitting there in the living room. I'm like, what's going on here? Because I've never been like ball level with him.
Oh, you should sit down while you're playing. I'm always about level.
That's all Drew ever sees.
I'm sitting there in the recliner, and he's over there doing his thing while we're cutting. And I was like, oh, there's things happening there. There's extra mechanics. I thought he's over here.
I thought he was having a seizure.
There was so many like little minute things that I learned from Cowboy that stuck with me. Like the 3 T's. That's his thing that he preaches: tone, tuning, and timing.
Yeah.
Tone. Cowboy preaches tone. So he was kind of the benchmark that I was chasing after as far as tone goes. But yeah, he was super friendly. That's one of the things. A lot of times you'll meet these musicians or famous people, and they're standoffish. They're like, I don't have time. But Cowboy is so adamant about wanting the next generation of steel guitarists to prevail.
Absolutely.
That he took his time and really showed me kind of what to do. And he's like, I always play on the choruses. I don't want to play on the verses. I want to play on the choruses. Anyway, he's got a great. And if you listen to anything Hank Jr. cut from the year 1980 to 95, and anything Jamie Johnson ever cut, starting with That Lonesome Song and all the way to today, Cowboy Eddie Long's on the steel guitar. Also, the early Kenny Chesney stuff when he was country before he went to the beach, and Confederate Railroad. He did those too. And just a ton of stuff he's played on, and he's a wonderful steel player, but an even better guy.
When Kenny sees this, he's going to be pissed.
Yeah, Kenny's gonna love this podcast.
Sorry, Kenny. We'll make it up to you next time we're over at the lake house, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Call you out like that.
May not be the only one that gets offended tonight.
It's going to go back to what Walker said. Like, Drew, have you ever met any standoff professional musicians? just really rubbed you the wrong way right off the bat?
One time.
Not to call anybody out by name.
So we're on this trip with Cowboy. We meet him. Everything was excellent. And yes, that is the trip whenever Glenn stopped in Nashville. There was a steel guitar on Marketplace for a really good deal.
Yeah, it was sketchy.
$1 million.
It was a
Like,
very
we walk in
sketchy
this guy's
place.
house and-
Very sketchy place. They go into the house. I didn't even go in the house.
I carried my guns because I didn't know what we were getting into. Like, I had it tucked. I was ready to protect you, dude.
So I go in and Glenn originally had planned on Anthony playing the steel guitar. That was the original plan. Because Anthony's kind of the guy that can pick up anything. He plays,
Anthony, what'd you think about that?
What all do you play?
Out of tune Telecasters. Sorry.
At least his tone's good.
It's a great tone.
So anyway,
I got good news. Anthony's on the move.
Oh,
okay, all right.
This is good.
I think he's coming this direction.
Real
It's hard to
Anthony.
say.
Not paper mache, Anthony. Captain America.
We've had a good time with paper mache.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's not very talkative.
Yeah, he's pretty quiet. But we're playing with Cowboy Eddie Long, and he was just, like I said, I can go on and on, and probably have already. But I just can't say enough. He taught me what the first 3 pedals do. That's what you learn first when you're playing steel, is what those pedals do, what strings to hit. And he would text me these very long. I think he was doing talk to text.
Yeah.
Because it would be like a thesis. It would be like, I'm talking this long in text.
Oh, yeah.
Of just like extremely hard to read.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Press B pedal up 2 frets, and I tried that, and that wasn't it. And I'd call him, and he'd be like, "Oh, I meant this."
Yeah.
And so super great. He's my mentor and still my great friend.
Great guy.
I have confirmation that the Shetland Tony is en route, and he was unaware that this was in video format. So he doesn't have street clothes. He says, "I'll make it work."
So I'm learning steel from Cowboy, everything. We get home, and that was a very productive trip. We got a really good song in Wondering, Cowboy on the steel. We have, I played the guitar fills on it. I played the guitar on it, and I had a guitar solo completely written, and Billy's like, "Oh, we just don't need a guitar solo on this song." And I was like, I was depressed.
Always just getting too busy.
I was
Love you, Billy.
So anyway, we get done with that trip. That was a wonderful trip. But the thing that was not wonderful about that trip was the sleeping arrangements. Now I was 20. I would have been 19 or 20,
19 and a half.
19 probably on that trip. And Glenn is a notorious hotel booking agent, and he got us in an Airbnb. Why? Because of the name. That's why he got us in this particular Airbnb. It was called the Angel on Montgomery, and it was wonderful. Had a great, nice living space, beautiful. And so we're like, yeah, Glenn, you really cashed out on this one. This is great, And so Glenn had a bed,
I had a room.
nice king size bed.
I had a queen, but it was a nice room.
Blocker had a nice bed. Anthony had a nice bed.
What'd you have?
Walker had a child's. It was less than a double bed. It was literally it was the diameter of my waist, and I'm laying there, and my feet hung off the end. Slept terrible, and
I know where you're going.
We'll get to the next trip. So,
I don't want to hear any complaints.
So we'll get to the next trip. So yeah, we'll get to that. So I was on this little tiny bed, slept awful, but it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me too bad. Then we go to Nashville.
Oh,
and we're hanging out in Nashville. We had a great time in Nashville.
Yep.
And Glenn got us this
another Airbnb.
It's
like a 3-story tower.
It was 3-story. It was awesome. It was very nice, very nice, wonderful living space. Go upstairs. Glenn's got a bed. Blocker has
And
a
Anthony,
bed.
Blocker and Anthony had to share.
Blocker
that.
and Anthony shared a bed, and Walker got the couch. The first night, the couch wasn't that bad. It was at least long enough for me to sleep on. The second night, I had wore that padding down just a little bit. The third night, I was sleeping on wood and wires. The third night, I was on wood and wires. And so I ended up sleeping in the floor.
I want to say, I offered you to sleep with Anthony,
This is true.
and you'd rather sleep on the floor.
I slept in a literal child's race car bed
Lightning McQueen.
in the same room with Glenn, notorious snorer, and Pawpaw, notorious snorer. for 6 nights. I'm a short man, and I was head to headboard, foot to footboard.
But it was really cute.
It was a pretty sweet race car day.
On that trip, I decided.
Sponsored.
On that trip, I said, boys, if I don't get my own bed in my own bedroom, I am not going on this trip. And they said, okay. So they found a place, and I was the first one out of the van. Got upstairs, picked out the bed I wanted.
The stairs were your downfall.
Which I deserved.
Literal downfall.
And I tripped up the stairs once. Yes, that was
Carried
another
up the
funny
stairs
story.
another time.
There he is.
Hey.
Come on in.
Hey, good evening.
Yeah, there's snacks. We're in a restaurant.
It's not open. You got my face.
Yeah. We
We didn't know which one to go with, so we tried both of them.
Oh, shoot. Look at this one. Where'd you get that? Don't worry about it.
And we're back. All right, we've got our friend Anthony Kent here. He's gonna.
He touched my head.
Okay.
Front
You
man
touched my
extraordinaire.
So Anthony is our front man, fiddle player, guitar player.
World's okay.
When it's in tune.
guitarist.
Bass player sometimes.
Bass player sometimes.
Mandolin if he's got one there.
Yeah, mandolin.
Avid bicycle rider.
Yeah.
Cause I'm a cowboy, a mongoose, I ride. Wanted a bicycle.
So,
Dude, the best part of that story is you still have the bike at your house. Michael wrote it
tell
the
us
other
the
night.
bicycle story. Get on the
I
mic.
tamed that beast. Is what happened. This not really a story, you know. Saw a bike and rode it.
Took it on.
It's mine now. It's technically Drew's, but it's mine now.
We were at literally right here playing Low Places one night, and I can't remember.
I'll tell the story.
Okay, all right.
If you're going to do this,
Play that funky music. White
I'm a bluegrasser. You know, I love that good old country stuff, and that just a borderline, like you could just play it almost acoustic stuff. And the walker is like, I'm going to shred for a little while. So he steps over on his pretty pink guitar, and he takes. Play that funky music, white boy.
Play that funky music, white boy.
Fun song, not fun for me. I would rather be out there enjoying that kind of fun. And I was like, oh, I remember there's a bicycle out back. I'm gonna go ride it. If it's there, I'm gonna ride it.
You're in full cowboy attire.
I walked outside and I was like, oh, she's still here. She's been calling my name for 3 months. So I got on the bike and I rode it. Of course, it's too messy out there because Drew hadn't swept the floor and cleaned out the pool yet. You got to get on that, man. You got to work on that, dude.
a little bit
What are
of
you
dirt
doing
in
with
the
your life?
And of course, I wasn't there for that show. So
No, you weren't.
I saw the video. so-
Podcast. No, so I rode the bike in here, and the boys didn't even notice, but I was having a great time.
Oh, we noticed.
Oh, we noticed. I was literally in the middle of just a mindless shred, and look over, and there's Anthony on a bicycle just scooting down riding in a circle. And I'm just like, what else can this band do?
Middle of the dance floor.
Parting the Red Sea of like line dancers and everything else that are on the floor.
Dude, what was funny, I mean, what's awesome about the 7 South experience is like, nobody really thought that was just super strange. Everybody was like, there's Anthony, he's got a bicycle. Cool, all right, let's go dance.
Yeah, nobody was pointing.
Nobody pointed really. A couple people tried to buy it. One person tried to get on it, and I'm like, hey, bud, one seat.
Why didn't you sell it? You sold my jacket.
Yeah,
Did
we've
anyone
been known to sell things. Props from the
Let's
show.
not tell that story.
So tell
was
the story
Chanda's
about
jacket,
selling the jacket.
Why?
Did you ever see any
That was
proceeds
Chanda's
from that,
jacket. I thought
Chanda?
we were past it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story on one condition. You guys have to let me embellish it a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
That means you can't talk. So there I was, looking fine. I looked good in this track. You can't talk.
Fine. He was looking.
I looked okay. I mean, it was all right. I didn't have anything for 80s night. I was pretty.
It was 90s night. That's why it was that jacket.
What?
No, it was
Was it
80s.
80s? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I was dressed.
Tracksuits
I
were
was
gone by the 90s. Nobody.
I was
wore
dressed
them.
like Don Johnson from Miami Vice.
Chanda's like, I got you, bud. I got something for you. Out of nowhere, she pulls this beautiful, like, 80s, just, it glowed in the dark.
Pink, yellow, and teal.
Pink, yellow, and teal.
Two
beautiful
sizes too
tracksuit.
small.
Yes. Fact. I mean, and we're not talking like Walmart starter brand. We're talking like this was the OG stuff. I'm like, man, this is all right. I mean, the windbreaker pants were actually windbreaker pants. Like, you know, wind was not going to break them. And I broke wind in them. That's not what we're talking about.
But stayed inside, thankfully.
No, listen. So I got this all. I'm all decked out and looking like average. You know, I got the cap on sideways, and we're playing. And I'm gonna tell you something. Hot. All right. I'm like.
I like the simile you chose there.
Yes.
It was warm in this suit.
Nice and toasty.
It was hot.
Greenhouse gas.
And I have probably dropped more sweat inside that jacket than inside of one of the saunas here at low places. And I'm thinking, man, this thing, we're going to have to burn it. How am I going to tell Chanda? So, and we go on the first break, and I'm like, man, this thing is burning. I'm going to take it off. She's like, no, you got to leave it on. I was like, man, I said, where'd you even get this? Like, I'm going to make up a story here because it's probably going to be sort of accurate. I was there. This, you know, we've had it since, you know, the old days, and, you know, the family had it, and it's just really sentimental. And I said, oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. So the night goes on.
Bought it on like Temu, like days prior.
Night goes on, and I'm like, all right, here we go. It's been in the closet for a really long time. And
still smells
somebody
like
comes up
mothballs.
to the stage, and I guess they liked the songs we were playing, and we were having a great time. I mean, really good time. And said, I want to buy that jacket. I'm like, ma'am, I guess not for sale. Because, you know, everybody's like, I'll give you 37 cents, and the rest of my pocket went. And I'm like, all right, yeah, ma'am, it's a tempting offer, but when we're done with this show, we're going to burn this jacket. No, I want that jacket for real. I'll give you $500 right now.
Sold.
So we got, no, I had, because I didn't know if like this was like great granddad's like pimp suit or something. So I wanted to be safe. I was like, so we go on break, and everybody's in the back. It's like, man, it was a killer set. Everybody was loving it. Everybody's riding high. And it's like, Drew, I said, what do you feel? How do you think about getting rid of this track? He said, man, I don't think I could. I've just had it so long. I'm just really attached to it. I was like, lady said she'd give me $500 for it. Go sell it right now. So we finished the show, and she walks up, and she gave $500 cash, and we all autographed it. I gave these guys $400, and
They didn't get nothing.
Drew didn't get nothing. Ended up, I guess he didn't get a cut out of the jacket. I don't know what happened or how that went there. Chanda is getting a new car, though, I heard, because we sold the jacket, so that's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations,
really
Drew.
went towards that.
Drew's having a rough night. He keeps finding information that just keeps setting him down. Zoom in on Drew real quick. He's still upset over the channels that we have to add to that.
Hey, you missed
Oh, yeah,
this.
you missed this.
Apparently Walker's adding a couple of channels.
I'm going stereo.
Oh, he's serious.
Okay,
I'm for real.
You know
No
what?
cap.
Have you ordered a stage box yet?
Nope.
About to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
We've salvaged enough channel. I want stereo steel. It's all about the tone.
Well, now that Dayton's playing guitar, and I don't
Dude,
have to,
stop.
Dayton's
That's
playing
not a
lead
thing.
guitar.
I mean, that's a channel.
I've
that we
learned
can
one
sing.
major pentatonic scale. I'm not a lead guitar
Now that
player.
Dayton's our
I
certified
hate all
stud
of you.
lead guitar player.
I quit.
I love it.
You're looking at Dayton Evans' 2026-27 nomination for Arkansas Guitar Player of the Year.
Hi. Cut this off right now.
Male vocals.
Also, yeah, male vocalist.
Male
of the year.
vocalist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start my own.
He sings a mean Pink Pony Club.
He does. So
all
Dayton
acoustic
All the
rhythm
little
guitar.
kids like it.
And remember, we're a country band.
Dude, we busted into Ella Langley this time in Alabama.
Hey,
that was
a lot of
great.
feedback on that one.
Yeah, that was
That was
crazy.
great.
If we're playing some top 40 stuff now, it's wonderful.
We're gonna start doing Bailey Zimmerman next.
No, we're not. I often wonder, like, what the old school around here, the old school musicians thought, like, getting to play stuff off the radio whenever, like, because, like, think about it. If you're in the Moose Lodge in the late 80s, early 90s, and you're playing, like,
Chattahoochee or something.
yeah, T for Texas, or not T for Texas. All my exes live in Texas. That's like on the radio currently, not on a classic station, on the top 40. So,
The audience has evolved.
like, we've got an audience that likes a lot of different stuff. We play a lot of different stuff.
All the decades. They love it all. Man, there's so many decades.
That's good because
a
there's
lot of
more
decades.
ADHD at this table than in a bottle of Vyvanse.
Yeah.
Like,
So we made it, Anthony, just to get you up to speed here, Captain America.
hey.
We've made it all the way to our second as a band Muscle Shoals trip. So we're talking about the time that I slept on the little bitty bed. Or no.
Wait,
we're talking about the
wait,
time.
We've made it to race car bed.
Yeah,
trip.
we're on race car.
Are we there
bed
yet?
trip. We're on race car bed trip.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Yeah.
Hey,
We haven't brought it up yet.
I want to thank Blocker for driving on the way down there.
Hey, Walker, if you didn't know, Walker drove all the way from Little Rock.
He just
to,
got up and left.
Muscle Shoals, explicit, Alabama.
That was. I wish I had that on camera.
80 Cayman Jacks were consumed. None
I
were
wasn't
left.
even mad about the driving. It's the fact that I'm driving, and by the time I get there, I'm told that there's no more Cayman Jacks in the fridge.
I don't know what you're talking about. I will tell you that is the shortest trip I've ever made from Little Rock to
I'm glad, Drew. I'm glad.
It was way shorter than our last trip there.
It was like 20 minutes.
We turned that into
We're gonna be able to.
It literally started with like
No.
It literally started with
Joe
Drew.
Rogan experience right here, baby.
It literally started with Drew driving like just down to Little Rock, and I was just like, "Hey, Drew, you want to take a break? I'll take over." And yeah, man, if you don't care. And next thing I know, I'm
The only
pulling
sober
into
person
Muscle
in the-
Shoals at the Airbnb, and I'm like, I did not agree to this
That's not
with other terms.
I think your first question was, now that we're here, somebody give me one of those Caymans. Well, hang on, buddy. It's like, oh wait, they're gone.
Oh yeah, and we didn't find out until a year later.
That they were still like
They,
four left.
they weren't gone. Anthony was just messing with you.
They were never out.
There were still so many Caymans.
Oh, but he thought they were gone.
So if anybody can't figure this out, me and Anthony have a very strange relationship. We love to hate each other.
I hate to love him.
One's more than the other sometimes.
The rest of us love to watch all the hate. It's great.
So on our third Muscle Shoals trip, we go down there.
Oh, you're skipping all the stuff on the second one, sir.
No, we've already covered the
This
second
is the
one.
third.
We've already
Walker's
talked about
third.
Oh, okay.
He's on 4 now.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is my fourth trip. You guys' third trip.
Numbers.
My second trip.
Yeah, Drew's second. On the third, we'll call it the universal third Muscle Shoals.
The first time for the band in its current state.
We'll call that the race car trip.
The race car trip.
We had that time. We had the most improvement in 1 week in our band. From point A to point B, it was literally night and day. We started off as a band that could only do 12-bar blues in A. We left as a band who still does a lot of 12-bar blues in A.
But we did them.
But we learned some Alan Jackson. We learned,
Dude, don't even.
we learned some really cool stuff. And
And we wrote a song.
the main thing is, oh yeah, we did write a song. We did write on that
Wrote a
trip?
song?
Seriously?
Yeah.
What did we
How do you
write
measure broken heart? We finished it then.
We read the music. We did.
Yeah,
We composed
we
it.
composed
Yeah, we
it.
finished
composed
it.
I never even really listened to the lyrics of the song until we had it recorded, and I was listening to it on the way home because all I care about in the song is what the steel guitar sounds like.
Don't we know
And
it?
Yeah, we're aware.
and
As long as there's tone, that's all he
Three
that's-
T's.
that's all I care about is
Pocket.
a good stereo steel sound. And so
That's cool.
So we've gotten How Can I Measure a Broken Heart recorded, and that was at Wishbone with Billy, and that was literally the 1 year anniversary of me playing steel or even getting on the steel, and that was my first time tracking at Billy's. Now Billy is a great friend of ours, but he's a producer at the end of the day. He's an engineer, and he's wonderful at it. I was afraid for my sake that I wasn't going to have the chops that I needed. But I actually came up with a steel part that was satisfactory and that worked out good, and he wanted some more of that
It's really cool.
Gary
Talk-
Stewart stuff.
It was all right.
Talking about that still part, it is really cool that when we go to these different places and play that song, and some of the people that recognize it and they're singing it back to us. When you get to that chorus, when that still kicks in, all of the people that are watching, or the kids that are watching, they'll make the sounds like it's so like part of that song. It's really cool. That kick in.
It's no Cowboy Eddie Long, but
Well,
It's probably the most important instrument when you think about it.
really, we wouldn't have a band if it wasn't for the steel. I mean, it would just be. I don't know what we'd be doing.
That's why it's important that we have it in stereo, so you can hear twice the steel.
All right, Drew, how much are you willing to drop on this new stage
willing to
box?
sing it all
Let's
out
just go ahead and get a
before
commitment
we do
locked in right now.
So,
Apparently we're switching to stereo.
Oh, hey, did you know we're switching to stereo?
hey,
We have till Friday.
so I can now use. So if Walker gets to do it, can I also use my left and right out?
nope.
Well, you might as well. We're already going to have to buy a new box with 87
You
inputs.
look so stressed.
No left and right out for Anthony.
Drew's going to get real familiar.
Every guitarist gets a left and right.
There we go.
Stereo effects
You
all the
play
way around.
guitar.
What about the fiddle?
You excited about your left
No.
and
Who
right?
plays the fiddle?
It
in this
doesn't. It
band?
doesn't
Doesn't
have
bother
any
me.
effects that
They just turn me down anyways.
You know,
I don't think.
You know, Anthony plays the fiddle, and he's a great fiddle player.
Sometimes.
He is.
Sometimes.
It's in tune. It's got the Telecaster virus.
Yeah, that was coming up.
So,
It's already.
It already has multiple times.
It's like 3rd iteration.
Can't wait to watch this one.
that song has really just, I think it spoke to a lot of people. And that's just a testament to Anthony's songwriting and delivery. It's all about, it's speaking to people. That's his thing.
It's got good tone.
To be fair, we had help on that one. But
That's true. And Glenn and Dwayne.
Dwayne cut some sweet Tilly licks in there.
I've said this before in my overly long introduction of that song on occasion. Merle Haggard songwriting, Chris Christopherson, their songwriting, like some of these all-time greats that they just wrote something. What makes us like the songs they wrote? Because I can listen to that song and see where I am in it.
The steel guitar is what makes me like
And
the
then
song.
the steel guitar sounds average.
Norm Hamlet, he was a
Did
monster.
you know Walker plays the steel guitar? Did you know that?
I heard
Showbud endorsed.
I love Showbud. Showbud's, in my opinion,
Is this
the
the
best
commercial
sounding
break?
steel guitar.
This is the
Shameless
commercial
plug,
break.
Showbud.
So tell us about kind of what else happened on that trip besides Measure a Broken Heart.
Well, I thought everybody was going to kill when you've been in a room with somebody for several weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still on trip.
Three. Still on trip
okay.
3. Last year.
Yeah, we were ready to choke each other out, I think, for the most part. But getting to come home and play that first show back at home was pretty sweet because you can finally see like the harmonies are clicking and then everything was just getting a little bit tighter. And then the reception we got and the way we were treated, that was the best part. And I think the best part of that trip in Alabama was just that really hashing it out and played in lots of bands, some great musicians I've played with and still love them to this day. But like this is what's really fun about this group is 3 years in and we still don't hate each other, and Alabama was the first real test of that. And instead of coming out like, okay, the band's over, I'm sure there were bets. Are they going to come back in the same vehicle? We came back better for it.
Well, Scotty came back in a Subaru.
Yeah, Scotty came back in the Subi.
Well,
Yeah, good gas mileage.
So-
I have a truck too, so.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So, yes, I agree with you, Anthony. And that was the first trip in Muscle Shoals. We're talking about trip number 3, where we recorded How Can I Measure a Broken Heart. That was to me, that was the best.
honestly, I mean,
That was the best bonding experience we had up to that point.
we've got a circa 2019 start date technically, but that right there was really the launch pad
Yeah,
of the band. That's really where it all kind of kicked.
And
That was really one of Dayton's first experiences.
yeah, so
very long at all.
Dayton had come and sat in with us a couple times at the Oasis, and he was kind of just a
Glorified hang around.
handicap kind of. He just played a couple songs and.
I feel like that's the word we need to use.
He played a couple songs.
It's not inaccurate.
He sang a couple songs.
I'm a little slow.
He had this little PV amp. It was
We put
awful.
dead
I
batteries
was
in
not.
his guitar.
I've never played on stage with a
It was a
PVM.
PV Viper. I know it was.
No.
With an acoustic guitar plugged into it. Anyway, so
I'm misremembering this, sir.
so
I always played mono.
Put dead batteries in his guitar.
we used to take that guitar slider and just. But I had
It was pretty rough.
Dude, I didn't find out about that till a year later. You really improved a lot. Last year when we were here, we all turned you down in our mix because you sounded so friggin'
For a
bad.
solid year.
We
For a
loved him
solid
so
year.
much, and he was really great to hang out with, but he couldn't play for crap.
Somebody.
And we would turn him down in our ears, because he was off time. We'd turn him down out front, and then we'd turn him down in our ears, so we didn't have to hear it, so we could all still play together.
It was like back when I had the Taylor and I still had my own volume dial right there real close, so I just turned myself all the way off. Fake it.
What was awesome is that awkward look on all of our faces when somebody was, I think it was Champions, no, it was Kingpins. somebody said, well, just load the scene from last year. And we were all like, Dayton's not in it. So
For a solid year, we never even heard it.
But hang on, I gotta finish this. Here we go. Because I don't want to just leave it with Dayton sucks. Dayton did suck.
Sucks.
Current did being the operative word there. Because in very short order, all of a sudden we were turning him back up, and we're like, hey, that fills that spot in real nice right there. And then after a little while longer, I think he was more on top of things than most of us were.
That's when I upgraded to a Martin guitar. Thank you. Shameless plug, Martin Guitars. If you want to sponsor me, I'm available for a call anytime. Day or night.
Yeah, so anyway, he doesn't suck anymore. Now he's really great.
Most of the time.
Not really.
And his singing has really come along a long ways.
You remember that time I dropped the F-bomb at a bar in Tuscumbia, Alabama?
Then he said, and then 4 more expletives. I can't say that on stage. Like, you stopped and
Sorry,
cursed 4
everybody.
more times to wash it out. Like,
It was part of the lyrics.
going
It
for the
wasn't just a
double negative
random
there to
drop.
wipe it out.
So, there was a time in life where Dayton, well, first of all, I get on in the van with all my suitcase and stuff, and I look back there, I was like, Dayton's back there. I was like, well, he must be just here, to send us off, He's kind of a fan at that point. And then look back and he's like, oh, Dayton's going. I was like, well, that's great.
It's like the cuts just got a lot smaller.
Sure hope I still have a bed.
What does he really? So
We're gonna have to stop for Cayman Jacks now.
So Dayton, in my in-ear mix, because I was using in-ears at that time, I don't anymore.
We sure wish you still did.
But my in-ear mix, I would turn Dayton up periodically, every 5 or 6 shows to see if he'd gotten any better. I was like, nope. Pull it up, nope. Tried a little bit more, nope. It's just,
Right, but then all of a sudden he did.
yeah, he really puts the work in. That's
Yes.
one of the admirable things about old.
I wish I could get better like he did.
Me
getting
too.
there. You're getting
Keep
closer
playing with
every
that click, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Pocket.
Drew's working
I'm
on playing
working
to a
on
click.
it. It's the most awful thing I've ever tried to do in my entire life.
I don't trust these robots.
He's
2 years ago when Billy Lawson said, "Can you play with a click?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said,
Never
"Well,"
tried.
he said, "You either can or you can't." He's right.
dropped the hammer on Drew. He dropped the hammer on Drew. He's like he was just cutting up. He was just like, hey guys, and he's like, Drew, he's like, well, can you play to a click, Drew? And Drew's like, well, I don't know. I've never tried it, but I'll try it. And Billy's like, no, you either can or you cannot.
The next thing we know, he goes,
that
well,
harsh, but it was
a lot of these professionals didn't play their own drums on their tracks. It'll be fine.
So yeah, it turns out I can't. He was absolutely right.
But he's working on it.
But I'm working on it.
That's the most important thing. He's working on it. He's getting better every day. Every time we get together, we're getting better. I love progress, and so making progress is fun. But playing to a click is really essential. Especially if you want to keep a song that starts here instead of here.
Especially if you have a set number of guitar solos in a song, that cue is just great. It keeps Walker from doing 18 solos in one song.
There's no such thing as a set number of steel guitar solos in a song.
That's true.
I'm talking about lead.
Right now we
Steel is usually pretty moderate.
Right now we have a song that has 3 steel solos in it, and I love that. It's my favorite song. It's awesome. It's great. I love it.
I don't know which one that is.
It's all of them, Drew.
So, so anyway, just change the topic.
Moving on.
So we went down to Muscle Shoals, had a really successful trip, got significantly better, and recorded a song, Come Back. That song did really well for us. And then we decided that we're going to go again. So then we are at present day Muscle Shoals trip. So let's break down, and that's truly what this podcast is about. It's first of all about steel guitar, and
Because this is a steel guitar channel.
Stories of the Hills from Travis Holt, and our gracious sponsor, Miss Shelley Beth's Fried Pies, the
Blackberry.
best,
Shameless plug.
Blackberry.
the
Apple.
best fried pies.
Chocolate.
Stop talking about the pies.
The best
I
pie
could go for a coconut
is
fried pie right now.
I'm so hungry right now. Somebody want to order a pizza?
Think she
Somebody
can swing
call
by.
Shelly Beth and get some pies
Yeah,
over
get
here.
him sent
Let's
out.
get that pie wagon over here. So we did a podcast together, and she brought me one of each of her pies, and I'm still a BlackBerry guy. BlackBerry to me is just the. I imagine, dying, going to heaven, and being met there after I, meet the Savior with one warm, crisp, golden brown Shelly Beth's fried pie, which they're all great, by the way. They all have their own pros. To me, the BlackBerry is kind of the front runner.
So we fired Dayton.
So Dayton's gone.
Yeah, Dayton's out.
We
Sixth channel for Walker Steel.
Yeah, we added another steel channel for the stereo steel rig.
So we had to cut
It's really going to be awesome when you think about it, because I'm going to have my of course, Showbud steel guitar going into my Showbud volume pedal while I'm sitting on my Showbud seat, going into my tuner and pedal board effects there. That includes a Peterson Strobo tuner and a PV session / LTD preamp, which I run into the power amp in of my Tommy Huff custom coated Nashville 400 power amp with an 18-inch speaker. And then I'm going to run a second out of my Boss Reverb into, which is an RB6 by the way, into the new PV LTD I'm getting. It's actually period correct PV LTD with a 15-inch speaker. It's going to be phenomenal.
I want to point out how much...
And 2 SM7Bs just like these right here on it.
How much our road crew is going to appreciate you adding this gear.
Are you
It's
still
got
talking
wheels.
about stereo?
It's got wheels.
It's got wheels.
So we got to put all this in the trailer,
Yeah.
and then we got to hook it all up.
We need a bigger trailer.
Yeah. Well, hooking
Yeah,
it up's
sure.
not the problem. I just need another XLR cable. I have the mics for it.
But then we have to mix it.
Yeah, well, it's just stereo. It's just more tone.
Hey, Drew, it's just more tone than stereo.
It's more,
all
it's
about
more
the tone,
present,
really.
if you will. It's got more warmth. It's got more sustainability.
Separation.
It's got more presence.
Ergonomically, it just works better for everything.
Let's move on. Drew's getting stressed out again.
It's better for the tone.
You guys are making my head hurt.
Tone's great.
So,
You were talking about the second Muscle Shoals trip.
no,
then all
we're
of a
on.
sudden
We're up to
we're
the
talking
current.
about-
We're up to the current Muscle Shoals trip. So we go to Muscle Shoals this time. We had a lot more of a controlled experience, right? It was there was no rage from Blocker on the way down.
I didn't drive at all.
Glenn drove most of the way. I, of course, was.
I think Glenn
again-
drove the entire way.
I know he did because we stopped
did.
37
He did.
times before
Yeah.
we made it to Memphis.
Yeah,
Well,
it did
I'm-
take us 12 and a half hours for an 8-hour
12 and a half hours.
Wow, it did.
But it was about the bonding.
On our way down there, we ate at the. What was
two
it called?
places.
What was it? What was it called?
places.
The,
It was a Mexican food
it was
place.
Timu Cracker Barrel?
the Sawmill Cafe in Forest City, Arkansas.
Don't call 'em out like that.
It's literally my favorite restaurant ever because it's like Cracker Barrel, which I hate Cracker Barrel, by the way. Cracker Barrel.
He whined for hours. I'm not going to no Cracker Barrel. I'm not going to a Cracker Barrel. I was like, Walker, I said, they got the candles in the gift shop, and they got the cornbread
shop
and
takes it
the
out of
biscuits. And he's like, I'm not going to a Cracker Barrel.
And so I figured, let's
so
stop.
they
into
picked this random place in the middle of
this-
Forest City.
yeah.
We walk in, and it's a Wish.com Cracker Barrel.
But
It was great.
there
It was
is
good food.
there is more to the story. So unlike Cracker Barrel, where you have this, I feel limited when I'm at Cracker Barrel because I'm looking at the menu and
You still eating off the kids' menu, and
Always loses at the
Can I get some
pin
chicken
game.
tendies?
I'm looking at this menu and it's like I feel limited. I go in the Sawmill Cafe, Forest City, Arkansas, and they have a buffet. It's like a fish house in there, and they've got a double buffet down through there, and I was just in heaven. It was really, honestly, a great experience. And then
18 hours later, we arrived in Muscle Shoals.
we went to where did we eat at next? Arby's or something. No, it was Wendy's because we got a.
I know it wasn't
I think
Taco
that's
Bell.
no.
We got a frosty.
We had to stop at Harbor Freight to get a new generator.
It took us.
that's right, yeah.
It took us 30 minutes to get a frosty. We stood there.
That guy-
This guy takes our order and he's like, oh yeah, that's our most popular one. That's a great frosty and stuff. Turns around, asks his manager, hey, how do I make this frosty? So we're standing there waiting for a
It was
frosty.
bad.
I'm sure we were just loud and obnoxious and playing
Just the
all
drums.
hours of the night, music. We'd practice late up in the night, and we tried to make a studio.
Some of us trying.
we tried to make a studio out of the house down there, which we actually were
Let's
successful
talk about
at.
the studio session real
Okay.
quick. So we're in the house and we're making this beautiful music and finally get this pocket going on, and all of a sudden it comes time to sing and the singer's gone. Where's Dayton? Somebody look out your windows, y'all. Where's Dayton? He's chasing a turkey across the back. He left the session. Chased turkey across the
in the
backyard.
middle. So I was set up. I had my drums set up in the living room. Every room was an isolated recording booth, isolated with hollow core doors. It was great.
XLR strung down the hallways. It's just a mess.
So anyway, I hear in my in-ears, I hear Dayton go, "That's a damn turkey,"
Out the back window.
while he's supposed to be singing. And the next thing I know, Dayton comes streaking past me out the back door, and he's chasing a freaking turkey through the backyard.
Fast.
Yeah, trying
And
to
of course,
trying to get the
I
video
almost
the
got
whole
it.
time.
I'm trying to be a supportive friend, and I'm going, "Catch that thing!"
You know what agged me on? I was perfectly content to video with the turkey from the back door.
Yeah.
And you said, "Why don't you go catch that thing?"
He's like, which makes Dayton think, I've really got a chance. So he like kicks it into like high gear. He's chasing this
got
bird
the
across the
video.
yard, and I'm thinking, man, when he hit that second gear, it's like, he's really got a
I
chance.
had him cornered and he cheated.
He's running fast enough to be the next drummer
Son of
on a
gun.
slow dancing song.
He took off
And
to
then-
the air, cheated on me. I would have had him.
Hey, no, you had almost had the bird. I was concerned
he's
enough to
cornered.
think, oh shoot, what are we going to do with this thing when he catches it? I had
We
time
were
to
gonna
process
cook it.
that.
We were gonna cook it, yeah.
But luckily, we didn't catch it because we found out later, according to Alabama state law, you
It's illegal
apparently
to catch
cannot
one by
catch
hand.
and strangle a live turkey.
We did extensive research on the subject. Found out you can't do that. And then Drew got the shadiest Facebook Marketplace deal for his new snare.
Day 3 of the guys flaking on him. He was like, boys, I think he's trying to con me.
Took me 3 days to buy a $100 snare drum from a dude with a SUV outside a U-Haul storage place.
We wouldn't let him go meet him alone in case, he
So-
wouldn't come back.
So we were, complaining about Drew's snare sound because Drew's snare is an old Ludwig, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, powerful snare, but just not necessarily a country snare.
I disagree. It's an everything snare.
Respectfully,
And Drew says,
a lot of people say it's the best.
Drew says, all right, you guys aren't happy with my snare. So he goes on Marketplace and immediately finds a piccolo snare. And then he meets the guy in the U-Haul parking lot.
72 hours later.
But yeah, we did have some successful sessions down there. I stayed up until like 4 o'clock in the morning mixing Turn the Page.
Right outside our bedroom door.
Yeah, right outside. Well, in full studio monitor
not with
blast.
headphones.
Yeah, no, you can't mix that.
That was a successful trip, though, because I think everybody got a bed.
Yeah, everybody
Right?
did have.
Nobody
a bed.
was on the couch?
Everybody did have a bed.
Scotty slept
you on
on
the
the couch
couch?
a couple of times.
Those beds were great. Those beds were great.
So we've got
changed
this,
them 3
we've got
times.
this,
but they were great.
we've got this ability to like Scotty will sleep on the couch. If
Scotty will
we have a
sleep in the
guest.
yard if you let him.
It does not matter.
I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit. Yeah.
Walker cannot take that. But we had just a great time that whole week. We had we met some really cool people, and
It's really cool that we were going to some of the same venues that we had played before.
Exactly.
And people were coming, oh, we remember you guys. And they were showing up and bringing their people. Like, I would say confidently at all 3 venues, the size of our crowd was well more than double.
Well, I mean,
Way
if you
was-
remember like Kingpins and
Rattlesnake?
Rattlesnake, like from last year. I mean, we Rattlesnake. You couldn't sit down there. There wasn't any more tables.
We
at
had-
one
we
point.
had
They
like
were wearing
seven-
shirts.
We had people wearing our T-shirts,
Yeah.
last year's T-shirts.
yeah. So we're talking
So
about
they
the
were-
Rattlesnake Saloon, which is in I guess that would be considered
Rural Tuscumbia.
Tuscumbia, yeah,
Tuscumbia.
the outskirts of Tuscumbia, down.
It's right by the Coondog Cemetery.
Yeah, it's right out there by the Coondog Cemetery, and this sounds like Newton.
That's
County, the more
noteworthy.
we talk
I
about
know
it.
it is. It is.
And so we go out to Tuscumbia, out to the Coondog Cemetery area, the greater metropolitan of the Coondog Cemetery.
Right.
Taco Bell, which is where
I got in trouble.
the rattlesnake the Rattlesnake Saloon is. And the Rattlesnake Saloon is it's the coolest venue in the world, in my opinion, other than
It
Red
is.
Rocks.
Coolest we've
It's
ever played.
It is.
it's a stage in a restaurant, saloon, bar and grill type of thing that's up in the mouth of a cave.
Yeah.
And you would think that sound would be atrocious, as live sound, even in the our home base, low places, you start clapping, you hear the echo. And, we've even deadened it in here, and it's still... So, you think being in an actual cave or at least an overhanging bluff, I guess you can... I don't really know. I kind of did bad in geology, but...
It's a giant...
It's a bluff overhang.
It's a bluff overhang. Bluff overhang. It feels like a cave. It sounds cooler to say cave. Anyway, so we're down in a cave playing, and the sound is just great. The sound is awesome. And no echo.
It's like a giant natural megaphone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. There's nothing coming back at you. So it was great. And if you guys are ever down in North Alabama or even close, like if you go to Nashville, go check out the Rattlesnake Saloon. They're great people, great food, and
Clean bathrooms.
and even cooler. Yeah.
They cleaned them out just
tell
for
that
us.
story.
It's the best venue, though. It is.
Yeah.
No,
Are we
we had-
sure you don't have a bleep button? The name of the show.
We were a little stressed. It was a little late starting, and I'm not going to point fingers at anybody, but we were a little stressed about getting everything set up and starting on time. And we were a little tense about it. And I'm thinking, you know what?
This couldn't get any worse.
Test number 2. We've survived a second year. The question is this it? Like, here we go. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just have a great show. That's going to put it behind us. I zoned in on who I thought that's going to be my people. I'm going to focus on these people right here. And then I've learned really quick, like 2 songs in, it's not that table, it's that table, and that. Like they were, people were just
It was
right off the
a
bat,
great
like
crowd.
they were up on their feet and they were dancing, they were throwing, tips at us. It was great.
You skipped the whole preamble. We show up late, we're stressed out. All of a sudden the venue says, hey, this might not even happen. All of our crappers are broke. We've got a crapper tank coming. We're down there trying to set up. They're rushing us. Here comes this freaking 80,000 gallon crapper tank down the hill.
Also, going to back up and say, we had Arby's before that. The Jamochas were right before.
All of us might have needed to
I
use
was
the
hurting.
facilities that
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna walk back to Arkansas and stop at the first bathroom I could find. I was on my way up the hill and they said, I think I got it to flush. And I'm like, bam! You wanna know how fast I can run? I'd have caught that turkey if he'd have been in between me and that.
We're delaying a sound check because of the overwhelming smell of human feces and the sound of a giant diesel truck running. And then they finally do get out and they get stuck at the top of the hill.
Halfway up the hill.
They can't let anybody down to the venue.
Because
We're
the
ready
tank's
to
too
go.
full, way too much.
That's good. That bought me a little time.
They had to get a tractor or somewhere to pull this crapper truck up the hill.
Other than that crappy situation, it's a great venue.
So
Best show we've ever done.
Not
there.
to mention, we're playing Kingpins, right? And there had been some rumors going around, that the ladies, the wives of Seven South and girlfriend, were on their way down to Muscle Shoals.
It's because
they were actually
They were all together.
Dress shop.
And they all turned their Live 360 off in Memphis at the same time.
And so we're looking at Kingpins. All of a sudden, here come all the wives and girlfriends of Seven South into the Kingpins restaurant and bar and grill we were playing.
The crowd doubled.
The crowd.
It was a big crowd. Don't believe
But
that.
they do such a
Last
good job
year
at
they
getting the
would've
crowd hyped up.
Last year.
That's the thing is the wives bring a truly great crowd presence because they've seen this show.
And Scotty doesn't have to work merch when they show up.
Exactly.
Thank God.
And more importantly than anything else, I woke up on, Saturday morning before we were going to play Rattlesnake, and just a lovely, nice breakfast spread.
Was I late for that breakfast? No, that's the day I had to get an IV.
And that's another story.
A breakfast spread, and it was just lovely. No Spam was used, no canned meat, and truly just a great experience. So thank you to the wives of Seven South for keeping me. I didn't know if I had another day of Spam in me. I was kind of like Tom Hanks in
We were out
Castaway when he was
anyways.
out there
Yeah, we
talking.
already ate all the Spam.
I was out there. Yeah, we'd gone to luncheon meat.
Me and Anthony killed an entire industrial-sized case of Velveeta shells and cheese.
I was like, that movie Castaway. Tom Hanks is out there
Tex
talking to
looks at me in the
that
grocery
bowling ball
store.
or
It's a
volleyball. Well done. Tom Hanks is out there talking to the volleyball. That's how I was. That's how I was about. That's how I was about breakfast. I was ready for some breakfast, and then also that. I guess it was the night before that. I had fell asleep in Anthony Blocker's bed.
Oh yeah.
Because I'd been sleeping on a not near as bad as the first Muscle Shoals trip, but still a double bed. Which is for me. I'm used to sleeping in a king.
He just wanted to talk.
And I'm not the smallest specimen, so. I fell asleep in Blocker and Anthony's bed, and they just left me there. So I DoorDashed us some Sonic breakfast burritos.
You did. I forgot about that.
I didn't get a single Sonic breakfast.
You weren't out of bed yet. I didn't owe you a Sonic breakfast burrito. I stole their bed. I didn't steal your bed.
That's a good point. Me and Dayton, we were bunked up there, pretty comfortable.
No Sonic burritos.
Yeah, we didn't have any burritos.
We went to the grocery store and Tex, he gave one of them dad moments, like not I'm proud of you, son, dad moments. One of them dad moments, like really. He looks at I'm got Velveeta and Spam, and he looked at me, he's like, I want you to live longer than that. I'm like, okay, but we're still taking this back to the house.
While we're on the topic
It was going.
of food, though,
It was
the
going.
best food the whole time we were there. Kingpins in Tuscumbia. The man that runs that bar makes
God,
these
yeah.
Mississippi pot roast sandwich.
Oh my
It's
God.
the best thing ever.
So good.
Like, it's worth the drive from here to there just
Melt.
to eat that.
I don't even
Nice.
like tomatoes, and I eat every single tomato on that thing just
Melt in
because
your
it had
mouth.
that.
He ate my
luscious
tomatoes.
goodness.
I lie awake at night dreaming of that man's pot roast sandwich.
It was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
It was
Worth the
truly
drive.
great. And Kingpin's is such a cool place because it's the only, you gotta keep in mind, we play bars almost every weekend. It's the only bar I've ever been in that I go in there, beat the Galaga high score, and then go play my steel right after.
Also,
it's
they've
truly
got like the largest bar I've ever
I think
seen.
he said
walk
it-
in there,
I think
it's
he
a
said it was
football
a-
field long.
Longest,
Yeah.
for
What did
sure.
he say? 84 feet?
I think he said it was the largest bar in like
In
the
the
southwest
South, yeah.
region of the United
It's
States.
insane.
It's
very,
huge.
very, very large.
And we had the
Super cool
largest crowd there too that they'd had in forever. And there were people out in the crowd that we could
Yeah,
see
they were
calling their
calling-
friends.
they're
I was
calling their
out
friends
in
and
the
they're
crowd.
just showing up to let
Yeah,
people
and
were
people
coming
just
up.
kept coming.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a great night.
We're about to wrap up here. What's the future look like for 7 South, other than Dayton getting on guitar, lead guitar, and Walker playing stereo steels for tonal reasons?
Mike's going to start playing a 5-string bass.
Not gonna happen.
I might learn to keep time.
Yeah.
Drew's going to learn to play to a click.
Drew's going to learn how to play to a click.
Stereo equipment.
You know, to answer that, I mean, I think the sky's the limit. I think we can take it as far as we want to, but our biggest holdback that we'll ever have is going to be ourselves.
Yes.
We can always work on getting tighter. We can always work on being better performers. But all that again can be worked on, and that can be, and we can. It's how much effort we want to put into it is what it's going to be. And I think if we decide to fully commit and go as hard as we want to, I think the sky's the limit. We can take it anywhere we want.
Dayton, what's your goals for the future?
Oh man, I wouldn't say I have any goals. It's just all the pieces are in place. I mean, we've got the best core fan group ever. I mean, they've made us what we are. The Billy and Tina Youngbloods of the world. These first day people.
Cody
that are-
Clark.
Cody Clarks of the world.
Steve Savage.
Steve
Yeah,
Savage,
all
man.
of them, man.
The Hood.
Or even
The
the
sofa
owner,
man.
even the owners of these venues, like
Grant
you got like Tom Lawrence,
Yeah, Tom Lawrence and,
all these people that just keep
Old
having us
Toms.
back all the time. I mean,
Like the core fan group is there, dude, and they just if y'all keep coming out and doing what you're doing. Like literally, the sky's the limit.
If everybody's having fun, we're going to keep making music. That's absolutely.
And you know, we got some cool stuff coming up this year, too.
We've got some awesome
yeah,
stuff.
maybe we should talk about some of the stuff coming up. Before
Yeah, let's
we-
talk about that real quick.
Full-length album release this summer.
Yes.
This
recorded
summer,
here at-
2026.
Recorded here at Subterra Studios in Harrison, Arkansas.
Scott
It's
Hoffman.
Scott Hoffman.
Shameless plug.
And he's been wonderful to work with. You know, he's put a lot of work in on that record. And you know, we've spent a lot of time making the record, getting it polished, getting it perfect the way we want it. Anthony spent, you know, a good amount of time in the fiddle,
Tuning.
in the studio with the fiddle.
Out of tune.
Anthony, we go in for a 5 o'clock session at Scott's, and
We don't have time to talk about
And-
the fiddle debacle, right?
There's only 24 seconds of fiddle on the whole album.
There's no fiddle.
there's no
on
fiddle. There's no fiddle. But the reason why we get to Scott's and Anthony's in there, you know, he's trying to play.
Got to use the house tuner, man.
He's trying to play, and you know, he's sawing on the fiddle. And
Don't really know what it is.
we stayed there for 3 hours.
Dude, I
And
fielded,
we got a lot done.
I fielded phone calls the next day from both of you at the same time.
Oh, I was
it was
mad.
one and then
I
the
was-
other. It
I
was like
wasn't just upset. I was mad. I was like,
Walker's on the phone. Said, man, it just really didn't go very well. We were having issues with the fiddle. Immediately as he hangs up, Anthony calls me. Yeah, we didn't get anywhere last night, man. This is some serious
We
problems.
went in
with
there
the
so
fiddle."
optimistic. This is gonna be a great session. I'm ready to go. I had the parts ready. I mean, it was gonna be fun. And then I was like, well, that's fun. Not ever playing a fiddle again.
and
Back on track. Yeah, let's get into
Back
it.
on track.
Full length album
length
coming out.
Right.
We have got shows all over the place. We got shows here in Arkansas. We've got multiple shows in Missouri. We're looking at booking shows in Central Arkansas, Little Rock. We're looking at booking shows in Oklahoma. We're reaching out to all kinds of people.
So let's talk about some of the bigger
Kansas,
ones
too.
that we've got coming up this year that aren't local.
we're gonna be at Black Oak Amphitheater
We got Black Oak Amphitheater for the next to Nashville thing. That's gonna be really cool.
next to Nashville. at Black
us
Oak.
and three
Basically a
other-
battle of the bands kind of thing.
And please, if you watch this and you have time to buy the tickets using our codes,
Yeah,
we
buy our
got
promo,
we want
yeah.
to sell a lot of tickets that we want our folks that helped get us there to help get us back.
We need you cheering on.
We're also
Abilene, Kansas.
We're going to Abilene, Kansas for October.
September 18th, we're going
Oktoberfest in
to
September.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it's not Septemberfest.
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be really.
So what
cool.
is Oktoberfest? It's
It's
beer fest. or
It's a
something,
German
right?
beer fest thing that they have every year. This is their 9th year of doing it, and they heard about us and they wanted us out there, and they basically said whatever it takes to get us out there, and I worked it out with them, and so we're going.
And of
Spring-
course, as always,
Yeah.
you can come see us at Low Places Honky Tonk,
At least once a month.
or you can come see us at the Moose Lodge here in Harrison, number 2208, the Chaplain.
Yep. We got big shows. The May 22nd in Springfield, Moontown Sound.
Yeah.
Same weekend, Lost Times Festival down in Newton County.
Lots of great stuff coming up, but yeah, we're gonna be busy this year. We're gonna be productive, and it's gonna be a fun year. But guys, thanks for doing this podcast with me, and hope everybody tunes in for another episode of Steelin for a Livin. With that being said, we'll see y'all on the flip side. We got children watching this program, boy.